I am here on the start line of the London Winter 10K run, and today we're going to talk you through why you should run a race before your marathon. I'm running this race in preparation for London Marathon, which is in about 8 weeks, but more on that later. For now, I need to get myself to the start line, and let's get this run underway. I'm using gels today, and this is my pre-race marathon routine. I have one before the race, and I have one every 7 kilometers, but you can practice it, even on a short run, you can practice it for your eventual marathon. Okay, we're just walking to the start line now. Got my trusty pacer by my side, saving me from walking into people. Yeah, we're on start now.
You got it, I like it.
You don't get this vibe anywhere else, especially when you're doing a 10K alone. For your training runs, you definitely don't get this.
London Winter Run, here we go.
And we are about to get started. We are running 10K, and I have 10 reasons as to why you should run a race before your actual race. Let's go. So we are 1K in, and it's the perfect time to talk about reason number one, you should run this race. Just get over race day nerves. You can go toilet, know what it's like to run in massive crowds, and just feel what it's like to run a race. Especially if you pick a race in the same city as your race. So right now we're running through the streets of London. It's nice to see the streets closed off and gives you an idea of what it'll be like on marathon day. Reason number two is don't go out too fast. Don't let other people force you to run fast. A marathon, there's plenty of time to make up that time back. You're better off going a bit too slow than going a bit too fast to start with, because burnout is real. So I am practicing my marathon race pace today, and we are on track. Beyond that, it really allows you to nail down that pre-race routine. So any rituals, any routines that you want to do pre-race, practice it. Point number three, I think, is getting used to the crowds. The crowds can sometimes be daunting, and it's very similar to the amount of people that are running. But don't worry about the crowds, because they're only here to support you. They're not here to single you out or look at you specifically. They're here to support you. Understand what it's like to see that this many people in one place, and really try and weave through the crowds and run with friends. Hi Ash. It's a perfect time to practice spotting your friends and family in the crowd. I guess my one piece of advice is get them to hold a banner with your face on it, or a huge sign, because it is difficult to pick them out sometimes from the crowd, especially if they're coming to cheer you on, with thousands of people also coming to cheer everyone else on. So I am 4K in, still feeling good, still feeling comfortable. I think race pace is one of those elusive paces that you don't really touch much during training. So it's always very nice to try and get an actual run where you are running at race pace on a race before the day, so you can get that confidence boost and know what it's like to hold a specific pace while you're weaving through the crowds and while the energy and atmosphere is soaking through you. Speaking of race pace, if you are doing a marathon, then you might want to do a 10K or even a half marathon before at your race pace. If you're running a 5 or 10K, you might want to do 1K intervals at your race pace, or a few shorter races, just to really knuckle that pace in and get that confidence on your side, knowing that you can do it, because it's so important where your confidence levels are at come race day. Where else are you gonna get this? So I've reached the 5 kilometer mark. So point number 5 is I'm taking today as a race day rehearsal, which means I need to get my fueling correct. So I am doing gels, but you can experiment with gels, gummies, Lucozade Sports, any sports drink or any nutritional thing, and also experiment with breakfast. This is the time to get things right and to get things wrong and really practice, because you need to know how your belly responds to these foods and these drinks, and how your digestion system will get you through running these races with the fuel. So, funny story, this is my first ever 10K race. Never raced a 10K before, and I guess course-wise I'm on record for a PB, but today's not the time to PB. a specific race. I've only ever run halves or 5Ks, so I've never hit that middle distance, but it's first time for everything. So let's go. I'm really enjoying this winter 10K. Got the music, got the people, the crowds. People. 6K in, and rule number 6, and again, a really, really important one, is sometimes you don't feel like running, like a 12-week, 16-week, sometimes even the 20-week block. So having a race in between that really gives you something to work towards and makes that training a bit more bearable. It's so hard to train alone, and sometimes having a run where you're seeing all these thousands of people also training towards the same thing, or maybe not, it's really nice. And you get to collect some medals on your way to the big medal that you're going after. So definitely try and book a race before your big race. So we are 7K in, and tip number 7 is a race like this really can serve as a benchmark, see where your current fitness levels are at. I think being able to gauge where your fitness levels are at prior to a race really does help, you know, solidify that race pace. And a bit similar to tip number 3 or 4, but again, the confidence that you can get from knowing you can target race pace is just, there's nothing like it, because running is very much mental as it is physical. Trying to really figure it out now because we only got 2K left to go, and I think a great point to talk about as well, since you are trialing your breakfast and trialing everything else, it's a good chance to trial your kit too. Wear your race day kit pre-race, you know, break in the shoes, feel like what it feels like to run in the attire. I probably won't be running in a jacket, definitely just the t-shirt for the marathon. So with 2K left to go, point number 8, I think definitely check your race day kit. Lap number 9 and tip number 9, we're on the home straight. It's the best time to practice your sprint finish. No, I'm joking. Not your sprint finish. It's the best time to understand your recovery post-race and figure out a recovery plan. See how you're going to feel better and recover post-race. You don't want to get injured. You do want to push yourself on a race, but you definitely want to make sure that you still have a recovery plan in mind for as soon as you finish, you're fueling, you're relaxing, whatever you need to do post-race. It's a good chance to practice that. I have secured my lovely little medal. Race done. I'm literally drenched. I'm literally dripping. There's no feeling quite like crossing the finish line on a race. No matter what time you got, you should be proud of yourself for going out there and wear this medal around your neck with pride. Wish me luck in the comments down below for London, and if you want to see Sarah and Andy take on a very similar race, then click here.